The Evangelical Lutheran Church of Ingria in Russia, the official partner church of the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod, has been a witness to the gospel in the territory that is now Russia and Estonia since 1611. It was closed down by the communists in 1938, but re-established by the grace of God in 1970 while still under communist rule, and today has grown to 80 parishes and over 100 preaching stations. Today, amidst the fast-changing world and Russian society, ever-changing visa laws, and so forth, the Lutheran Church of Ingria remains a faithful witness to the gospel, and to that end asks for your prayers and invites you to partner with her districts, her congregations, and her leaders and pastors. Let me acquaint you with the structure of the Church of Ingria. Although the Ingrian Church has a bishop who is elected for life, the actual governing organ of the church is the annual synodical gathering, where delegates elected from every district gather to vote on various organizational and practical questions. Doctrine, of course, is not a matter of vote. At the annual synodical gathering, the bishop must give an accounting and may be voted out of office for malfeasance, but so far that hasn't happened. The annual synod also elects a synodical committee to run the daily operation of the church, approving the budgets of the various committees, and overseeing the filing and filling of vacancies and deciding other questions that cannot wait for an annual vote. The bishop is also the director-in-chief of the central consulary or central offices of the Church of Ingria. The consulary consists of several committees: the diaconal committee, which oversees the diaconal work of the church, distributing humanitarian aid, and overseeing a network of retirement homes in the St. Petersburg area. There's the Media and Radio Committee, which produces Lutheran Christian radio and TV programs. There is the Missionary Committee, which, as well as organizing evangelism and organizing and presenting parish seminars on parish evangelism, stewardship, spiritual growth, personal witness, and so forth, also works to coordinate work between foreign churches and the Church of Ingria. This committee helps establish direct partnerships between U.S. parishes and Ingrian parishes, helps organize small short-term mission groups and projects, and helps promote inter-parish relationships within Ingria. There is a wide scope of activity, including youth camps, building projects, evangelism outings, and mission trips. The pro-life work of the Church of Ingria, which is actively promoting the Lutheran parishes to get directly involved in life issues, is now a separate project in the Ingrian structure with its own budget. If the experiment works, then the next step would be that pro-life would be given its own committee. The Central Consulary also houses the central bookkeeping office of the Church of Ingria. All money donated via bank transfer is duly recorded and must be properly accounted to before the Russian tax authorities. For this reason, the details for transferring money are very important so that it can be accessed and used faithfully and legally. This also means that 100% of the money donated to Ingria must be used properly and used for the purposes for which it was donated. The Central Consulary and her committees serve the 80 congregations and over 100 preaching stations of the Church of Ingria, which are organized into 6 districts across 6 time zones in Russia: the St. Petersburg District, the Western Ingermanland District, or the St. Petersburg Suburban District, the Karelian District, the Volga Valley Moscow District, the Ural District, and the Siberian District. Each of these districts elects a Propst, or a dean, or in our way of thinking, a district president, who is responsible for helping organize work on the district level. The Propsts also form the bishop's advisory committee. Each of these districts is in the process of organizing its own consulary structure, bookkeeping, mission outreach, and so forth, so to better spread the gospel. This formation is in process and depends on many things, and they are looking for partners to help. For some districts, the process will move faster than for others. On the parish level, each parish is self-governing, and to be Ingrian must conform to the standard parish structure, electing a parish council and having a properly registered constitution in keeping with the Russian law. Preaching stations are those groups which are legally connected to a registered parish but have not yet registered as a separate organization. The pastor of each parish is also considered the legal director of the organization, and so therefore is held legally accountable to the government for all financial and other legal entanglements of the local congregation. This often puts the pastors in a difficult situation, as they are responsible not only for the spiritual welfare of the flock, but also all financial and material welfare of the flock. Such a situation often detracts from their time to take the focus on their congregation's spiritual health, and makes them more concerned with the congregation's legal and financial health. To better understand Ingria and its polity, some terms need to be defined. A pastor is an ordained minister of the gospel who has finished seminary and been approved for ordination by the synodical committee and placed in his vacancy also by the synodical committee. A deacon is also an ordained minister who has had some theological education, but who has not yet finished seminary, and has been approved by the synodical committee for service. He may fill a vacancy when a pastor is not available, but must be approved yearly when doing word and sacrament ministry. A deaconess is not an ordained office, but is a woman who has some theological education and who may serve as a Sunday school superintendent, church administrative assistant, and perform other non-pastoral functions. A catechete is an assistant to the pastor. He may be approved to preach, to teach catechism, to lead Sunday school, to help evangelism, or even be the carpenter of the church. Many seminarians are also catechetes, who are always under the direct supervision of a pastor. Ingria also has trained Sunday school teachers, youth workers, church bookkeepers, and so forth. All these are trained through programs organized through the Ingrian Theological Institute, which serves both as seminary for pastors, offering a bachelor's degree of divinity, and the training center for all other church workers. The Lutheran Church of Ingria in Russia is a self-governing confessional Lutheran church striving to re-establish confessional Lutheranism and solid conservative Christianity in Russia. She has survived the communist persecutions and modern laws and is struggling to remain faithful to the gospel. She seeks your prayers and invites you to work together with her and her parishes for the glory of God and for the seeking and saving of the lost.